Hello, Mr. Randy Duck, and welcome back for another video. Today I've got two replays to show you in the tier 10 Centurion Action X, the British medium tank. Now, continuing on with the theme of the recent sort of update, going through the buffs, we just got the Centurion today, and the Centurion received a buff, and what it received is a buff to its concealment. I think a lot of the tanks did get a concealment buff. Now, what this means for Centurion Action X, I mean, I actually run on this tank optics, loader and camo net, because the gun's already really accurate, so you don't need stabs. And then combined with the crew and that camo net, I've got my concealment down to around 277. So it actually becomes quite quite good. You can actually shoot a lot of targets now unspotted at times, and it has helped the tank, I must admit. It can be quite nice with that added concealment. So we're on to the first map here on Raseinai. Probably said that wrong there. And we've got one enemy artillery in the game. Now, I'm just going to be a little bit patient at the start. I'm just playing the castle, and I'm just waiting to see if anything comes, and also waiting for my team to catch up with me, so I'm not so alone. I didn't want to push across all the way by myself initially, so I'm just sort of being patient, and what I'm doing, I'm just looking across, seeing where my team is, seeing what tanks I've got, because it's all kind of useful information. And enemy team have now kind of pushed to our tanks on the right hand side. This enemy Belleforn actually crosses, and I try and get a shot into them. Unfortunately, that does bounce that shot, and we don't pen it. But now we actually turn around because a fun police was aimed at us, and I don't particularly want to get slapped by the enemy artillery. And as that happens, enemy Belleforn from earlier is kind of pushed in, and yeah, he's took on a lot more that he can chew there. And I'm hoping just to get a little bit of extra damage from this tank at the start. And we do manage to get 2 penetrations in there and actually pick up a tiny bit of track assistance, getting rid of the first enemy tank of the game. So now again, we're going to push forward and see if anything now is pushed slightly further forward. Enemy Super Conqueror's kind of pushed into a hold down position, and then you've got this VZ. Looks like it's going to overpoke to get a shot into our friendly teammate. We do manage to punish him, getting one into the lower plate, and then we actually manage to secondary punch him, get one into Cupola. So at least our friend there didn't take those hit points in vain, and we have managed to get some punishment on that tank, putting us on to 1500 damage. With still 14 enemy tanks remaining, and actually picking up a little bit more assistance as well there, getting some spot assistance, putting us on to just shy of 1000 spot and assistance. So a decent start to the game, but I would kind of like to kind of progress and move forward now and get into the battle. Now our heavy tanks on the right hand side have pushed up, adding somewhat of a distraction, and our friendly tank destroyers moving forward. I'm going to see if I can get any shots into that enemy Super Conqueror, but as that happened, that VZ presents itself for an opportunity for me to get another shot in, and I managed to get one into the side there, putting him down to pretty low hit points. I was thinking of trying to go over and kill that Super Conqueror, but as you can see, there's a lot of tanks sort of covering him from this angle, and that's not necessarily going to be possible. We do bounce a shot off of a Tiger there, Tiger 2, off of our turret, but I am going to try and get rid of this Super Conqueror to try and help out our team. But I'm going to look for a safer approach to do so the enemy team can't actually cover him. And now I'm only fighting the Super Conqueror here and not his other teammates. So I've got one shot into the side of the turret way, catching them off guard. Now he obviously is going to pay more attention to us. It's going to be a little bit awkward because this Super Conqueror is a very dangerous tank when it's hulled down. So trying to be a little bit careful and wait for an easier opportunity and for my friendly teammate to help engage me against this tank, putting us into a 2 versus 1. He does bounce his shot, so I'm going to use this opportunity to put a shot into his lower plate, and then I pull back up and actually bounce one off of my superstructure because I was quite angled there by the time he hits that shot. Our friendly TD goes in, so I'm now just trying to punish his Super Conqueror and help out our TD and try and keep him alive. We get one shot in, we get a second shot in for the Cupola. Unfortunately, we wasn't able to save our teammate. Not really a lot we could do. We did punish him for all of our shots, but then we do manage to avenge him and at least take out that Super Conqueror. Still a close game, putting it to 11 versus 11. But we pick up our first kill and get 3000 damage. And now we've got a little bit more freedom to try and get shots of these tanks in the back there, because now that Super Conqueror's not going to keep us, proxy spotted, and we can try and get some shots in. We are getting detected each time we poke around. They do have 2 enemy waffles, tier 9 waffles in a platoon, so I've got to be quite careful when I poke here that I don't get, you know, to shut down. There is also an enemy S-spawn as well, which could be very dangerous for me. Now I'm going to try and poke here and see if we can spot anything up the back. Sorry there. And we do spot that enemy S-spawn, and you can see where the camo buff has actually helped here, because previously I may have actually got detected there, but thankfully I haven't. I'm able to get 2 shots in, and this S-spawn is in a very awkward situation for us here, and we managed to get shots in, putting us on to just shy of 5,000 damage there. We're trying to get another one in through his track to track him in place. We do so, and then we pick up some track assistance as well, and that enemy threat is dealt with. And now we're going to try and get a shot in for that waffle in the back. And this game is starting to look a little bit better for us now. We are up on tanks, and we've got the enemy team, if you look on the mini-map, completely surrounded. And we're just going to try and get as much damage in as we can. We're now try and turn our attention to the heavy tank. I think I've only bounced 1 shot this game, and that was at the start of a game against that Bellefonds. So we've had a pretty good shot ratio this game, putting yourself onto 6,000 damage, 1,500 damage. But there's only 2 tanks remaining now. We get a shot into Waffle, didn't really have time to swap to HE. Probably should load HE here because there's another enemy Waffle. But at this point it's not going to matter because he's only left on a 1 shot. Anyway, we're going to try and get there, but it's kind of a racer who gets to the Waffle first at this point to try and pick up that last kill of the game. We come around there thinking we may just have a shot, but then he gets shut down by our friendly TD, and we're not able to get the kill there. But does bring us an end to replay number 1. So let's see how we got on. We got 1 kill, just shy of 7,000 damage and 2,500 assistance. It was only the first class, but we did get the high caliber, and obviously we didn't get many kills, so it was the first class. But that is an end for replay number 1. So let's move on to the final replay of the video. Okay, so here we are for the final replay of the video. We are on Steps Team Destruction, and we are platooned up in a 2-man with our buddy Jamus in his medium tank. And what we're going to do initially from this spawn is we're going to push across the 1-2 line, mainly being because obviously they moved the spawns quite a long time ago now, but it basically gives the other spawn a little bit more of an advantage from pushing the opposite side of the map basically. So I didn't really want to push over to that side, and I'm going to try and push this side first, and then we can either turn back or we can carry on pushing forward, being the fact that it is team destruction and we don't necessarily have to defend the base. So we're going to try and push forward and take a slightly bit of a risk of play, but I want to get a bit of information of what we're coming against early. We push this ridge, we get a shot into the E4, and we do spot a few tanks there, so we do give our team, where you can see we've got a lot of our team here, a bit of information of what we can expect to fight. Now, as we have so many tanks with us, I don't exactly want to sit exactly at this spot, because I don't want us all to be like, you know, caught in one location, giving those E4s a better time at fighting. I want us to try and spread out so we can use our numbers a little bit more effectively to surround these tanks and deal with them quickly, because I imagine the rest of the tanks are probably pushing the opposite side, so we want to kill these tanks as fast as we possibly can. Go for a shot in the cupola with the E4. That's never going to pen with the standard APCR rounds, so we swap to the Heeks, have an easier time at dealing with these heavier armour targets, and then we get a shot into the enemy tank, the Russian tank destroyer at the back there. We're going to try and see if we can get any more shots. I don't really want to eat a shot off of the E4, and it's a little bit awkward poking here. I'm going to have to show too much of my tank than I'd like, so I'm going to try and move forward and find an easier angle to try and deal with them. But they seem to be taking quite a lot of punishment from our friendly teammates here, and it's not going to be long before we're actually taken care of. So as we go round, I think the enemy E4s have now been taken out, so I'm going to actually push and kill this concept before it actually managed to escape. We get 1 shot in. Now we should be able to reload in time to kill this tank before it gets out of there, and we do, picking up our first kill of the game and 1,400 damage. Now at this point I have a choice to make. I can either turn back and deal with the tanks behind us, but obviously I don't necessarily have to defend the base because there's no cap to reset. So I'm actually going to push forward on the basis that I want to get rid of the enemy fun police, so that way that our team's not going to constantly get shot at by that tank. As we approach, we do spot an enemy Death Star. It's not looking at us right now, so we're going to cross over. We do have a slight problem of the friendly Russian tank destroyer on our right hand side, but we're hoping we can get that tank detected, and then they might be taken out by our friendly tank. So just earlier we do get a shot by the enemy front police, so he does know we're here. Now here's this enemy object 268. This is a tank which I was a bit concerned about because he does have potential shots into us here. But in order to do so, then he does have to show quite a lot of his tank to our friendly teammates. But we are starting to go down on numbers here, so I really need to kill this tank quickly so that I can deal with the other tanks and start helping out our team somewhat, because this guy's tank's holding me in this location. I don't really want to eat a big shot out of him. I don't have to. He's coming over though to shoot our friendly Raseinai. Not a lot I can do to stop that, but we do at least punish it. Our Raseinai then gets his shots into him and puts him on 2 or 1 shot, which is good, and I'm able to finish him out, and we get rid of that threat, which gives a little bit more freedom now. But we have detected an enemy type along with this Death Star, so this is a little bit awkward. We have swapped to the heat rounds because we are going to need the heat rounds to go through that type armour. He turns his turret, and then we're not going to struggle to pen that shot there with the heat rounds. We've got our friendly teammate Jamis coming along with us, so we're going to try and get rid of these tanks as quickly as we can. I'm going to push forward to try and spot the front police, but as we do so, we spot an enemy SU who is AFK there. So we're able to just free farm this tank, and I do want to get rid of them because they're just going to proxy spot me. So as you see, I am focused on them just to get rid of this tank, and we do, and we pick up a kill, getting our 3rd kill of the game, putting us on to 3,600. We are still losing, but only by 1 tank. We push forward, and now we spot the enemy front police, and we get a shot in before he can fully escape there, but he does get away before we can kill him. And then we've got this enemy Death Star here. I do have support, so if he does fall send over the ridge, he is going to get shot, and I'd need to try and track him in place so he doesn't put a big shot into us. Enemy British medium tank, we're able to get a shot into that, and now he's back behind cover. I want to get rid of this medium if possible, but now I'll put a shot into them. They're playing quite safe behind that rock, and it's going to be a little bit awkward. I'm still pretty much full hit points, so we decide to just poke and get a shot into type, even if it means we get a shot off the British heavy, which we do actually do. I can't get that shot in there, and it's not worth it, so I'm going to pull back round, and I'm just going to ignore that British heavy for the time being because I feel like he's just going to be playing too safe, and I'm going to try and help out my friend deal with this type at the bottom with that Death Star. We get 1 shot in, putting the type onto a 1 shot. Now we're going to hopefully get the kill, which we do, confirming our 4th kill of the game and getting rid of that threat. Now we just got this enemy Death Star who's just shot. That's why I overpeaked this ridge. And now I'm going to be careful because obviously if he's coming off reload, I definitely don't want to lose all my hit points to this tank. We're trying to get a shot into his cupola, but this enemy medium tank's now pushing up and getting shot. So I said to my friend Jamis, look, you hold the Death Star, I'll just kill this medium tank, and then we just only have to deal with just the Death Star together. But as he does that, he's obviously realised I'm coming for him. He's come around to try and get safe, but then he's poked up, and I'm able to just get a shot into him there. Death Star then shoots and misses me, and now we know we've killed him because we can both double tap him together. I get 1 shot in there, and then he gets taken out by our friendly teammate Jamis, leaving us just the enemy front police left in this game to deal with. So I probably should have swapped to the HE again to get a bit more damage, but I didn't. Get a shot in there, hoping maybe we can get the kill in there for the Top Gun, but unfortunately not. It gets taken by our friendly Jamis, and that brings us an end to the video. So let's just see how we did. We get 5 kills, just shy of 7,000 damage. 100 assistance. This time it is the ace tanker, purely because we've got a lot more kills there. But yeah, that is it for the video. So thank you again. Thank you for your support of the channel. I do really appreciate it. And happy tanking.
Enemy in sight. Hadouken!